purity or you're going to choose impurity? Are you going to use good money or you're going to use haram money? So we've got the aql to do this, and iman guides us. If the nafs is in control, if the nafs is in control and not the aql is in control, means that it's really in a state of su, means that it has no boundaries. It can do whatever it wants, and it will guide your aql to rationalize everything that is wrong into something that is right. Why? Because it wants to fulfill desires, baseline desires, and it can even go against our fitrah to achieve its desires. So it can overcome our nature of things, just so that it can come to a certain point.
All right. So I think there's complex understanding. Okay, complex. There is a pack full understanding especially about spiritual packages, which is contained of the ruh, saf, nafs, akal, and also qalb. Okay, so maybe we will move forward to the how Quran describe or describe about the struggles that the human self is being through. Maybe because we want, as in the title we mentions about the healing the mind and soul, but without the struggles where we can heal on that. So maybe Dr. Usman can explain to us, is there any challenges that described in Quran, especially about the mental struggles or emotional well-being that related to it? Yeah.
Okay. So this package that we speak about in the Quran, there's no one ayat that relates all three together. There's no one ayat that has come and said that verily you are made of a ruh, and then a qalb, you have a qalb and aql and a soul and then a body. There's no ayat like this, right? So we take it from different places. So too the struggles in the Quran. So we've got meta ayats, which I call meta ayats, right? General ayat that covers everything. So the one that liyabluwakum ayyukum ahsanu amala in Surah Al-Mulk, that this world is a state of trials and tribulation to see what you will do. Will you do good? Or will you go towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, or you go towards your nafs? At the end of the day, we are in this jihadun nafs is something that we are either going towards our nafs to satisfy it completely, or we controlling the nafs to take it to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? This is the continuum. Of course, then we have different nafs, the states of the nafs. So in the Quran, we've got different things like halwa. Remember the word that we said in the first session, that you are very anxious, in a state. Why? There's a reason for this. Illa al-musallin tells you that a existence without Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it will put you in a state of anxiety. There's a few elaborations for this that we can go into, but if we want to go direct from Quran ayat, sadness is something that is there, right? That one of the ayats that the Prophet tells Sayyidina Abu Bakr is La tahzan inna Allah ma'ana. This is fear and sadness at one point in time. We've also got hum and gham. These are types of depression and iktiab. All of these are diseases that we find along the way, either in the Quran and Sunnah. And ayats speak about these in different contexts. Of course, the biggest stress is when we have a state of we are seeing the world and we are using our eyes and our ears to experience the dunya, but our heart is not comprehending what we are seeing. قُلُوبٌ لَا يَفْقَهُونَ بِهَا. This is hearts that do not comprehend. And here is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually hits the human being, that if your heart doesn't comprehend, then you become like an animal, innahum kal an'am. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala doesn't stop there. He says, no, bal hum adal. You are even worse off than animals at times. So this tells us where there are connections that we have. If we look at anxiety, depression, stress, and sadness, happiness. All of these emotions are there for a reason. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given it to us to make us human. Of course, in the bodily realm, we've got hormones that are involved. But in the spiritual realm, we have a nafs that is involved. Now, a nafs that is in a state that is stressing about this dunya, anxiety, we can go to its potentials. What is it stressing about? Is it stressing about not achieving some desire? Does that give it anxiety? Is it stressing about being a desire that was there, but its fulfillment being taken away? Is this depression? And then having something taken away from it and knowing that it won't come back is the sadness. Right? So the nafs has the ability to do this, but if the nafs is there and it's experiencing all of these things and it's tied to the heart and to the soul, heart and to the spirit, then of course it gets the blessings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in there. So you know at a certain point, yes, anxiety is there, but you can control this anxiety through the Quran, through Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and of course at the physical level through bodily interventions. So the Quran is very preventative. Yeah, it practices preventative medicine because it knows human being has these potentials, and as we said, that if the nafs is not controlled by the aqal and by whatever comes via the aqal, which is divine inspiration, ilham, then this nafs will go to extreme in every way. So we have to give the nafs what it needs. We have to give the nafs what it needs via spirituality every day in terms of control, enlightenment, rahmah, taking care of it, telling it it's okay. However, if we neglect this for some reason, or we have left the nafs on overdrive by itself, auto control, cruise control we've got on the car, and it has been acting by itself all this while, then the nafs is in a state of doing what it wants, controlling things in the body what it wants, and after a prolonged period of time, our body starts adapting to that. So our hormones get stuck in a pattern, neuroplasticity happens, our neurons get stuck in a pattern, and then we come to a point of we need intervention. So I think this is where your next area is going to, right? How does the Quran help with this? So I think we can break here.
Break it, okay. So I think thank you so much for the explanation. I think it's very helpful and also very easy to understand about how the Quran explain beautifully about the trial, the hardship, and also it's very related with ourselves. So I think we can take a quick break first, and maybe we can listen to the song. We will continue our discussions after this song. This is Iium Fm, your favorite campus radio.
Hi, my name is Nada. I am from Palestine. Listen to Iium Fm, your campus radio.
Allahu Akbar. Walillahil hamd. Allahu Akbar. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Tubna ya Allah wa rajana ya Allah wa nadimna
from Institute Pengajian Islam Pergas Singapore. Don't forget to tune in to Iium FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum and very welcome back, dear listeners. You're now tuned into Iium FM, your favorite campus radio, with me, DJ Alia, your host for today's episode of Side Talk Episode 2. And for today's episode, we will continue again talking about the Quran and the Self, healing the mind and the soul with our esteemed guest, Assistant Professor Dr. Usman. Okay, so in the previous discussions, we already learned about the connections between about descriptions between self, mind and souls, and also we understand how the Quran is described about the challenges and also trials in the human itself. So maybe in this session we will continue again about how we can heal with these struggles based on what is described by the Quran. So maybe Dr. Usman can help us in understanding on that. So Dr. Usman, is there any examples from the Quran that can guide us to deal with emotional struggles like anxiety or sadness, or those who want to find a peace when they are feel burdened or overwhelmed? Yeah.
Okay. So وننزل من القرآن ما هو شفاء ورحمة للمؤمنين. So the Quran itself is a healer. Okay. But how does the Quran heal? So we've got now, as we started this talk, we've got two sides of this insan. We've got the ahsan taqweem that has been, from up there or with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then the asfal as-safilin. So how does the Quran affect this human being? This is something that we need to contemplate about a bit. Is the Quran a book? And if so, are we reading it like a book? If we are reading it like a book, then this is not the Quran. Then we're reading a mushaf that has words in Arabic that we claim is the words of God. It has surahs, it has ayats, and we read that. If we are reading the Quran, the only way to read this Quran is to connect this Quran with all your physical as well as your spiritual components. So when you are reading, you need to hold the Quran in your hands or read from your heart if you have memorized. And of course, then use your faculties, your senses, to be conscious of what you're reading. Pay attention to what you're reading. Make sure you're not just reading a book, but you are trying to connect these physical words with the original words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Kalamullah, which is in Lawh al-Mahfuz, which was sent to this dunya. Those words, the original Quran. So can we say Kalamullah is the Mus'haf? This is another debate. Yeah, we can't say so. But what we read, this is why Quran you need to read. When you read it, it becomes alive. It becomes Kalamullah. When we read the Quran and your heart is open and you have a good, proper intention and you've worked on your soul to be in a certain way, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala starts giving you the effect of the Quran, it naturally starts doing a few things. The first thing that it does, it starts cleaning off whatever you have put inside in terms of negativity in your soul. Of course, you need to read it with that intention. Yeah, if you just read it for storytelling or for something like that, then it doesn't work. So this is one of the ni'mah of the Quran. The other one is that you start interacting with the Asma'ul Husna, or the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has been innately placed in your ruh. That is through the kalam of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, speech of God, right? So you have been given the ability to speak. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is a being that speaks as well. So we naturally connect with this. And of course the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as we touch on each of them, we are activating some part of our soul, some part of our ruh. And if we are contemplating tadabbur, tafakkur and all of these things, then we are using the middle part, which is the heart as well, and the aqal to reason. So we're getting from both sides. We're getting from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we're getting from our physical side. And this puts our insides in a state of a different state. But remember, I said last time, once your nafs has been in a state of heedlessness, out of control for a while, then it has already physically changed your body. Okay, so when we're using the Quran, we are feeding the spiritual package, and we're using physicality in terms of reciting, but we need to additionally to that use it in terms of changing the physical body as well. So how do we get neuroplasticity to change? How do we get hormonal change? Yeah? So these are all things that we need to do with the Quran, but we need maybe something external as well. But directly from the Quran, as mentioned, there are ayats of the Quran that we use. Everybody knows the science of Ruqya in Islam. And we've got Surah Fatiha that is very, very beneficial. If one contemplates Surah Fatiha, then it gives you hope. It gives you hope. It gives you a sense of gratitude. Yeah, gratitude is one of the most curing things that you can have. It is the basis of sustainability in this world, right? Gratitude. It's also putting things into context, that I am a slave of God, Iyaka na'budu wa iyaka nasta'in, and I am relying on you at this point in time. Bringing it into the physical realm, physical side, it's of course contemplation, having a dialogue with oneself, about these things, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is my Lord. So, oh my nafs. Remember this question that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks in Surah Ra'd, Ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub. Doesn't through the dhikr of Allah, through the remembrance of God, isn't it through the remembrance of God that your heart finds peace? Yeah. This question is in the form of a question where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asks us, but it's our duty also to ask our nafs. Oh heart, ala bi dhikrillahi tatma'innul qulub, aren't you finding some tranquility through the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through the Quran? So there are many ayats in the Quran that speak about sakina, for instance. فَأَنزَلَ اللَّهُ سَكِينَةَ عَلَى قُلُوبِهِمْ. So if we read the ayats of sakina, and with the hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala descends this peace on us as well, then these are the ayats that we can use. But I reiterate that we need to ensure that we are not reading the Quran as bashar or as ruh only. We need to read it as insan, complete, in order to get the benefits. So there are so many benefits that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about. For things like fear of the future, anxiety is fear of the future. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about His qada and qadar and how He will reward you. These are ayats that if you tafakkur on this, and of course that comes back to Iman as the original point, then you can sort of manage anxiety as well to a certain extent. Of course, I will always bring this back. If the physical body has been pushed into a pattern already, we need to work both sides. We need to strengthen the ruh, and we need to deal with the physical body. So there are many ayats in the Quran that can give you solace, peace, tranquility, even something to do with your depression, other ailments as well. There are people who do ru'ya for physical ailments as well. A good place to start is Surah Al-Fatiha.
Okay, so thank you so much, Dr. Usman, for explanations on how the Quran give. I think there are some of verses that maybe give peace to those who are feeling burdened or overwhelmed or in this anxiety and sadness. Yeah. So let's move forward to our next questions. I think based on your explanation, so based on your view, how powerful is the Quran in the process of healing? Maybe not just spiritually but also mentally. Yeah.
Okay. How powerful is the Quran? Subhanallah, this is a loaded question, because the Quran is as powerful as the Creator, right? It's Kalamullah. what we can say is this: how powerful, extremely powerful, very powerful, all powerful. It's from the all powerful Almighty. But in terms of changing your spiritual nature and your mental health, the Quran has the ability to transform not only that, the spiritual, the mental, but it even has the ability to transform the physical as well. Okay? And I'll give you an example of certain scholars who used to read the Quran, and they actually became shy of reading the Quran in Ramadan. Why? Because one of the goals of Ramadan, when you fast, you need to feel that you are fasting. And this particular scholar, because of the amount of Quran he was reading, whenever he reads the Quran, he feels full. All the time. He doesn't feel the need to eat, and it could go on for days. This means that it has a hormonal repercussion, right? It's generating hormones that you feel full. Leptin, for instance, was one of them. To the extent that he felt so bad that he stops reading the Quran in the daytime and he reads it in the nighttime when he iftar already. So he can feel the puasa. So Quran as physical cure has been done on many. The ru'ya that is mentioned in the time of the Prophet ﷺ is also a physical ailment. So the Quran can change the physical body. There are many theories on this. Some says it's the energy that is within the word. Some says it's Kalamullah itself. We can go. Scientific will say one thing. Spiritual will say one thing. In terms of the ruh, the Quran is one of the fastest ways to connect this nafs, the aqal, the qalb, and the ruh all together back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you are using your aqal and you realize the implications of the ayat, it is already tazkiyatun nafs, because most of the ayat are telling you about your nafs and the things that it wants to do and the things that it's supposed to do. So it's either one way or the other. And if you are reading the Quran with that and it starts to come to a point where you read through love, then mental health starts improving as well. Because once you got this basis, you realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us on this dunya with the ultimate test. But this ultimate test is a test of love. Loving yourself to serve Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to serve Him, and loving creation to serve them. And all the in-between facts that are giving you all of these mental health issues are actually there for a reason. And if we embrace them, love them, and work with them, then our mental health doesn't have to feel the way it feels. It can feel in a better position. However, this takes work. This takes building a relationship with the Quran. Having something that is consistent with the Quran. Remember the nafs, as the hadith speaks about it, that the heart has a dot in it, and as you go further it becomes blacker and blacker and blacker, and then Ghazali speaks about the sick heart and then the dead heart. So to revive this heart, we need to, if it's the physical heart, we need to inject adrenaline. To revive this spiritual heart that is there, we need to inject the Quran. But if you just give one dose to a heart that is black and dead, it won't revive it. You need to shock it a few times. So consistent feeding, spiritual feeding of your heart, so that it can come back to life, and your Aqal can control your nafs, and then your Aqal can benefit from your ruh and transfer it to your nafs, so that your whole insan can be guided from the ilham of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the Quran is the ultimate key to this. This is our key, and of course salat, which is the Quran is in salat as well, but the actions of salat that is there. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as I mentioned in the first ayat, the specific that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِلَّا الْمُصَلِّينَ الَّذِينَ هُمْ فِي صَلَاتِهِمْ دَائِمُونَ, except those who pray and they are doing their prayers consistently. So Quran consistent, Salat consistent. In the end, these all contribute to your mental health. Of course, you take care of the physical body. The Prophet ﷺ said, sleep. I sleep and I wake up for tahajjud. I fast and I don't fast. I'm distance from my wives and I'm with my wives, taking care of the physical body as well, right? And this is part of the Quran and Sunnah, so it's the Quran telling you to take care of your physical body. So this is the power of the Quran, right? Physical, mental, spiritual change. The other exercises, of course, tafakkur and tadabbur on the Quran. If you contemplate the verses of mercy, for instance, then you activate the names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, compassionate and merciful, and mercy floods through your system. So this puts you in a different mental state. If you contemplate hope, lutf, all of these are things that we can contemplate. So if you take any of the names of God and you start contemplating on them, the beautiful ones, it will change your brain, your neurons, your plasticity, and of course affect your nafs, your qalb, your aql, and go straight to the ruh, which is back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is how we can do it, inshallah.
Inshallah, I think it's a very wonderful explanations, and also I also agree that Quran is so powerful because it's covers all the things, yeah, including the process of healing in terms of spiritually, mentally, and also physically. Yes. Okay, so I think we take a quick break first. Let's listen to the song. We will continue our last discussions in the last sessions, and we will right back into you. So this is Iium FM, your favorite campus radio.
Hello everyone, we are from Iium Radio.
Renta informasi terkini.
Don't forget to tune in to iium.fm,
Your campus radio.
Sakit hatiku memikirkan kamu, sakit mataku melihat wajahmu. Di mana sayangmu, di mana kasihmu, bila ku pilu kau jauh, kau jauh. Di mana dirimu, di mana waktuku, bila ku perlu kau jauh. Terpulanglah, mau cari apa, mau cari hantu, mau jadi buaya. Terpulanglah, mau bikin apa, mau bikin masalah, sila teruskan saja. Andainya aku kau ingin maafkan aku, ku tak mau, ku tak rela. Di mana sayangmu, di mana kasihmu, bila ku pilu kau jauh, kau jauh. Di mana dirimu, di mana waktuku, bila ku pilu kau jauh. Terpulanglah, mau cari apa, mau cari hantu, mau jadi buaya. Terpulanglah, mau bikin apa, mau bikin masalah, sila teruskan saja. Terpulanglah, mau cari apa, mau cari hantu, mau jadi buaya.
Minister of Higher Education of Malaysia, Yang Berhormat Senator Datuk Sri Diraja Dr. Zamri bin Abdul Kadir, reminding you to listen to
Iium FM, your campus radio.
Assalamualaikum and very welcome back, dear listeners. You're now tuned into Iium FM, your favorite campus radio, with me, DJ Alia, your host for today's episodes of Side Talk. And right now we are in the last discussions about our topic for today's the Quran and the self, healing the mind and the souls. And also with us our assistant professor Dr. Usman Jaffer that can help us in understanding in this topic. And for the last questions, I think it's a recap back on what Dr. Usman already shared in the previous sessions, but maybe Dr. Usman can share one simple step that maybe we can take it, we can do as an individual to strengthen our connections with the Quran and also experience its healing power in our daily lives. Yeah.
Okay, so I will give you one step, but I'll give you some background first. I think we should remember that the Quran is a living testament. It is not something that is contained in a book. It is something living. It is kalamullah. It is the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that is from Him. So we have been given this gift that we can utter the words of God. This is extraordinary for human beings to be able to do. Even if we see the other scriptures before us, it's not been given this status as the Quran. Reading the words of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, physically reading it, as I mentioned before, it is something that we do with our physical body, but when you want kalamullah to go through your entire existence, then of course it needs to be connected with everything that is inside of you. Our relationship with anybody, any human being, if we say they are a living being and the Quran is a living being, then we use the same model, the same method. If we want to have a very good connection with somebody, we will disturb them every day. We'll say, hello, how are you? Damakan. This is just with our friends. So this is the ultimate, or one of the advices that was given to me by my first Quran teacher when I was very young. He said, make the Quran your best friend. If you do that, the way you treat or the way you want your best friend, you want to play with, that time I was 6 years old, so play with them every day, have a fun time. This is how you need to approach the Quran. Of course, as you become an adult, friendship changes, so the relationship with the Quran should change as well. It's no more playing, it's no more just there. So have some time with the Quran every day. If you feel that your nafs is really strong and you cannot, dedicate 5 minutes. Put 5 minutes on your timer. Put the timer on your phone and put your phone just to show you the time, not to see anything else. And just read the Quran. Choose 3 ayat or 5 ayat, whatever you can do in 5 minutes. Read the Quran. Read its meaning. Think about what it is telling you that day, because the Quran will tell you something every day. It can be the same ayat, but depending on your status that day, your hal, the Quran will tell you something deeper, something wider, something more elaborate through the same ayat. So think, what is the Quran telling you today? And then tell the Quran, I love you, my friend. Ya Rab, please give me more of the company of your words. And inshallah, that is the way to start. Start small. Don't be ambitious. 1 juzu a day. No. 5 ayats is enough. 5 minutes. Start with 5 minutes and increase as you go along. If you do 5 minutes sincerely and you fall in love, then you fall in love. When you fall in love with that friend, if it was starting a friend, but then you fall in love with that friend, then you can't be separated from that friend anymore. So this is how you start your relationship. We continue. Our deen and our prophet was always busy with consistency. So 5 minutes every day is better than 1 hour once a year, or 1 Quran, 1 Ramadan. Yeah? So 5 minutes every day, put in the time, and inshallah use all your faculties. So use your physical body, try and tap into your nafs, let the nafs get admonished by the Quran or encouraged by the Quran to do good. Contemplate it in your aql, put it in your heart, of course, and then ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give you all the hidden blessings that is in those words of the Quran that we don't, as human beings, cannot comprehend from the words, because words are simple, but Allah's meaning is unlimited. And then you've activated everything in your body, or in your insan. Inshallah.
Inshallah. Thank you so much, Dr. Usman, for, I think it's a very simple step, but also very impactful to someone lah yang who want to make it strengthen our mind connections with the Quran, and also experience how the Quran can heal to ourselves, inshallah. Okay, so I think thank you so much again to the Dr. Usman for being our guest, and also this is your second invitation for our guest for Side Talk, and there's a lot of things that I learned, and also maybe our listeners out there learn about specifically about the Quran and how it relates with the self, our mind and soul, and how it can heal to ourselves. Yeah, inshallah. So I think we will be back again with a new topic, with a new guest at the next week with an exciting episodes. So until then, I think again I wish you all the best for our semester, one semester this semester, and don't forget to keep listening to Side Talk every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. only at Iium Fm, your favorite campus radio. Thank you again, Dr. Usman, and I hope that I can see you again, our listeners out there, in the next episode. This is DJ Alia signing off of Iium FM. Assalamualaikum and have a good day.
Assalamualaikum. I am Nazri Noran, CEO of Media Prima Audio and President of Commercial Radio Malaysia. Keep listening to Iium FM, your campus radio.
My name is Aiman Arifin, the first guest for the very first episode for Beyond Barriers. Don't forget to always tune in to Iium FM every Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. Only on Iium FM, your campus radio. Woo!
something new. Iium FM, sound of unity. In every heart a shared melody. Reaching minds will never be. Voices from the world's need. From wisdom old to stories untold, we bring the light, the young and bold. Through every way, we rise and shine. Iium FM, your voice, your time.